I will say, from a wife's perspective, early on in our marriage, I had the experience of being a preacher's daughter, and thought that because I was a preacher's daughter, I understood that I would just easily shift into this role of being a preacher's wife.
Seemingly.
That it was this similar, no problem. I'm a pro, right? I've been a preacher's
Yeah.
kid all my life. I can walk, I can do this.
Mm.
Um, and not so. So it was obviously very different. And early on, when he would have those scenarios where he couldn't necessarily talk to me about things that was going on, or when he would kind of become distant because of what he was going through, I took that personally.
Mm.
And so I began to attack him
Mm.
because I felt that he was a problem, right? You're not opening, you're not talking to me. Why are you
Mm.
distant from me? What's the, you putting them church people before me?
Oh,
You letting
wow.
them people that whatever. And so when you talk about the impact that it had on our marriage, I mean, let's be real here. Let's keep it real. It did impact us because I was not walking and thinking and responding from a spiritual perspective, right?
Mm.
We talk about how the enemy, allowing the enemy to come back in, he was
Yeah.
using that
Yeah.
as an opportunity to try to break us. And so he would come in and he could be stressed out over something that's going on, or whatever. And he's not talking. What, you not talking to me? You got a problem with me? Then come on and let's talk about it. You did, and he would
Mm.
be like, it's not you. It's not about you. It's got to be me because I'm the one who's suffering. I'm the one who you're not talking to, right?
Come
And
on.
so then that would cause him to be even more frustrated. And instead
Mm.
of creating a house where he could come home as a as a area of peace, it was
Mm-hmm.
contentious, right? I was creating a hostile environment for him at home after he had just left a hostile
Mm.
environment from the
Mm.
church. And so that began to negatively impact our relationship. And it took, let me tell you what it took. It took, God's gonna get your attention. He's going to
Absolutely.
get your attention one way or the other. And I tell people all the time, you either submit and humble yourself voluntarily, or he'll do it
Mm-hmm.
involuntarily.
That's right.
And so it took him going through some really, really tough situations at church. And when I saw him almost just broken from
Mm.
what he was enduring and what the stress that he was under, and it's almost like the Holy Spirit snatched me and said, girl, you adding to this. This man
Mm.
is walking. He's called, first of all. He's God's
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
manservant. So be careful
Mm-hmm.
how you treating him. You understand
That's
what I'm
right.
saying? Be careful how it is that you're treating him. And so when God got my attention, I realized that my experience as a preacher's daughter had absolutely nothing to do with this current role that I was in, and that I had to create a sense of peace for him. He had to have an area where he could come home and be able to be at peace. And if I could be honest with you, I said I better get it right before he find another domain to find some
Mm.
peace in. You
Mm-mm.
understand what I'm saying?
I hear
So
that.
it was, yeah. I mean, for real talk. And so I had to talk to God and ask him to change my heart, to work on me, create in me a
Clean
clean
heart.
heart, because
Yeah.
I was not responding in a very supportive, nurturing, understanding way. I was combative, and he can't combat with the brothers and whoever he combat with at church, and then come home and combat with his wife. And
No.
so God had to work on me for me
Mm.
to understand that I am a helpmate. I am
Mm.
supposed to be supporting this brother as he is walking according to how God has called him to walk and to do what God
Mm-hmm.
has called him to do. And what I noticed was when I started understanding that and allowing God to use me as he saw fit as a wife, be the wife that he has called me to be. And that was my prayer. That was my specific, but we got to get specific with our prayers.
Yeah.
First,
Absolutely.
acknowledge when we wrong.
Right.
I had to acknowledge and say, Shawna, you out of order. You are wrong. Look at how this man is really enduring and going through what he's going through. You wrong. Now, in order to get right, I knew I couldn't do it by myself. God, create the wife that you would have me to be. Change and mold me according to how you see fit, because I know me and I can't do it by myself. And so when I surrendered to God for him to create the woman, the wife, the woman, the mother that he wanted me to be, there was a shift in our relationship. There was a change, because it no longer did I see him as the enemy, right? I had to recognize who the true enemy was, understand that he was using me to try to break him down even more, because he knows he's called. He understands the assignment that God has on him. And so I had to recognize he trying to use me to get to him. Oh, no, you can't. No, I rebuke that. No. So when I started praying and just started having honest conversation, look, with myself, dialogue with myself, and praying to God, that's when things started to change. So now, if he's going through something and he's quiet, then I'm not taking, it's not personal. I go into prayer on behalf of my husband. I don't know what it is that he's going through, Lord, but you know. And so I'm asking that you hold him up, and you this and you that. I go into prayer in my war room on behalf of him, because if he can't pray on his own behalf because of what he's going through, then that's what I'm supposed to do. And that's where I'm stepping in continuously to pray for him and the hurt that he has to endure and all those things. And sometimes, to be honest, it can be heavy on a wife, because you got to help lift up and encourage when sometimes you're discouraged. But that's where I go to God and ask for him to strengthen me so that I can help strengthen him and protect my boys. Because church hurt with kids, that's a whole nother topic. That's a whole nother podcast. Okay.